to the Gangneung Curling Centre, home of wheelchair curling at the PyeongChang 2018 Paralympic Winter Games. This is round robin session 5, and our feature match is the United States of America versus Sweden. It will be contested on sheet D. We're going to get a chance to see some of the conditions. Weather is good, humidity is low, ice conditions should be excellent.
On sheet A, Slovakia versus Switzerland.
For the United States of America, playing lead, Penny Greeley.
Hi, Kim, and everyone back home.
And throwing the second stones is Justin Marshall.
Hello, Melissa. Everybody back home.
Playing
Thanks for all your
third,
support.
Steve Empt.
Go USA.
B, Great Britain versus Finland.
And at the head of this team, playing skip, Kirk Black.
영국과 핀란드의 경기가 있겠습니다.
On sheet C, People's Republic of China versus Germany.
Playing lead for Sweden, Kiki Ulander. At the second position, it's Matsola Engborg. And throwing third raft, vice skipping is Ronnie Persson. And at skip, Viljo Pettersson-Dahl. Swedish fans in the house, USA fans in the house, they are looking for a really solid matchup. Current standings, you can see Canada and Republic of Korea at the top of the field. Sweden and the United States down near the bottom at 0-2, both teams. The good news, one of these teams is gonna see their first win tonight. And these fans, and there's a small head of Penny Greeley, the lead for United States. There you can see the United States, 2 losses came to Republic of Korea and Germany. As the teams prepare to head out onto the ice, they're coming off of a 9-minute practice session each before the game. The United States of America on the last stone draw had a little bit closer to the center of the rings, and they will have the hammer when we start this game.
Games will begin in 1 minute. Good luck and good curling.
1분 후에 경기가 시작되겠습니다. 그럼 멋진 경기 기대하겠습니다.
They dropped games to People's Republic of China and Canada. Sweden. They are joined on the bench by alternate Zandra Reppe and coach Peter Narup. USA throwing the red stones, wearing the red and black. Sweden throwing the yellow stones, wearing the familiar yellow, black pants, and the 3 crowns on the back of that uniform. And Kiki Ulander will get Sweden started off. Kiki's 36. She's from Härnösand. And she has been playing very well, very steady for Team Switzerland.
14-2, helt okej, bra.
She starts with a beautiful shot right in the front of the rings, blocking USA's way in. Penny Greeley, she's going to get USA started.
Very nice.
Penny's a 47-year-old from Green Bay, Wisconsin. And both of the leads have been playing really, really well for both of these teams. Starting off each end really solidly. The additional players down the lineup for both Sweden and the United States need to capitalize on the excellent stones being thrown by their lead players.
13-5. Lite ute. Där ja. Bra.
The real keys to victory for both of these teams are going to be taking advantage of the hammer, the all-important last shot. Both of these teams are having a little bit of difficulty limiting their opposition to stolen points. And with that little bit of a misstep, USA has a chance to take advantage.
I like to button that up.
Top 12 right there. Plug that hole.
Let's go here. Yep, that's fine.
So after a nice discussion, they've decided they're going to
14.
quote Steve Empt, button that up. They're going to try and put a guard or a rock in front of the rings, maybe just touching the top of the scoring area.
Get over and sit. Come on. Walk.
And this rock needs a little bit more. See that giant red line across the ice? That's called the hog line. And when a rock doesn't fully cross that hog line, it is not considered in play. So Penny Greeley coming up a little bit light on that last stone. It goes into the bin. Mats-Ola Engborg gets his chance. USA has opened the door, and Mats is going to get a chance to try and take out the USA rock that's in the scoring area.
Lite ute. Bra. Kommer ut lite där.
The 60-year-old gets his first rock of this third game away.
Bra fart. 9-2.
Just hits on the outside and rolls away. Wrecks on his own rock there in front of the rings.
Top 12? Yep. 3-4.
14 seconds, Justin.
So you're going to hear a lot of numbers being called out by these athletes throughout the game. There's different sets of numbers. Justin Marshall has been asked to put a rock in the 3-4 zone, which is just in front of the rings or to the top of the rings. And he's being asked to throw 14 seconds between those foul lines or the hog lines. And USA coming up just a little light again. And because that rock didn't fully cross the hog line, it's taken out of play. It's a lost opportunity for USA. And it grants 60-year-old Engborg a chance to make that shot he just missed.
Lite ute. Bra.
A little redemption in the works here for Sweden.
Bra move. Niklas 4. Okay.
Just over curls a little bit and rolls out, but they accomplished the primary goal there, which was to remove the USA stone in the rings.
5-6.
So here's that number system again. Justin was asked to throw a 3-4 on his last shot, and he came up short. Now he's being asked to throw a 5-6. So that's fully into the scoring area, into the white ring or the 8-foot.
Good line.
Now, per his last rock, we can see that Justin has been struggling trying to find the draw weight.
Let it go.
This one needs to get a little bit more speed.
14.
And he comes up just short of the rings. Now, he added more momentum, but not quite enough.
tapped it,
That's
okay.
one of those adjustments that you need to be thinking about. He was 20 feet short of his last target, and he probably only added about 12 feet to that shot. So now Ronnie Persson gets an opportunity to draw a rock into the rings.
Ute lite. Där ja.
And the rock is away.
Tycker den ligger lite ute.
So this rock is going to be moving. It's curling from right to left from the player's vantage. From ours, it's going left to right. It's because it is
Det är bra då nu.
rotating in a counterclockwise manner. You can see that they put a bit of rotation onto those rocks, and the number of rotations down the ice
Ball down.
really affect
Yep.
how a rock moves.
Good time on that?
I had 12-8.
So the third, Steve Empt, curls out of the Cape Cod Curling Club in Falmouth, Massachusetts. He's going to try and follow that Swedish rock right down to the rings. Ideally, you're going to sit completely under cover, that this rock is
Very
going
nice.
to curl a little bit and sit
Very
under
nice.
cover and frozen down to the rock in the back of the rings. That rock is very difficult to remove. It's a really nice start for Steve Empt.
Ja, vad är lämpligt?
Antingen så snärtar du utsida på den. Eller så måste vi upp och ta den lite inne. Du kan
Snärta
ju dra
utsida.
också.
Snärt.
Snett.
8 med en snärt.
8. Tunn träff.
Ja. Kom igen.
So lots of really good discussion happening between these players out here. They're trying to communicate, make sure that they're on the same page, that they understand the tactics that they're going to employ. And at this point, they're going to try and take this rock out. It's going to have quite a bit of momentum.
Ligger ute.
Ja.
And they're hoping just to touch that USA rock, and it just goes by. So with that added momentum, the rock runs straight
Start with that.
Or we can just come up right here.
Do the same thing.
Yeah, I like this here.
All right.
Yeah, like that.
Even if I come down to it, how far behind the tee are we right now?
We're full stone behind the tee.
Okay. Even if we come down to it, we're fine, right? So the same shot?
Nice controlling breath for Steve Empt before he lets go of that rock. And that's really to reduce the tension. If you have any tension in your body, in your jaw, it comes down through your
Very nice
muscles
draw.
and into your arm, and it affects how the rock is released.
Getting there.
So they want to limit the amount of tension they've got,
Nice shot.
and that is a fantastic stone. You can see by the positioning,
Nice set of stone.
USA is sitting
Great
half
move,
under cover of the guard and in front of their own rock. This is a challenging situation for Sweden.
Ja, vi måste ha det.
Ja, där.
Ja. Kiki, jag tar 8 istället.
Ja. Ska jag minska eller ligger vi
Gör
kvar?
det.
Där.
So Viljo Pettersson-Dahl with his first rock here in this game.
Lite inne.
He's in a tough situation. The good news is that they just saw the line on third Ronnie Persson's shot. And this one looks a little wide. Looks like he set that out a bit. It's got to move. It's got to curl. And no goes by on the wide side. This is a significant opportunity for USA. The skip settles in. Kirk Black is looking to draw a rock on the opposite side of the ice from where Steve Empt's stones are.
Come on.
You got it?
So you'll notice that these players, with great specificity, make choices on their setups before they throw. They might have different styles or different kind of swings, but they try and do it the same every time in order to replicate it and make any adjustments necessary between shots as simple as possible.
Come on.
So Steve had a little bit of a reset there. Now this is that spot on the ice that caught USA 2 times earlier in the end.
Vill du ta en till eller vill
They
du
came up
dra?
short on lead second and seconds first. And again, they come up short on the skips first on that side of the ice.
Ja.
Gör de det?
Det där går. Nej,
Ta
chappet
den
inte.
då.
Nej, men om de bara går ner och drar.
Nej, men...
Tar väl 3. Ska vi dra?
Dra där eller?
Får vi in en? Ja, får du in en som är... Vi kan ju faktiskt. Annars är det ju vanare, men då lämnar vi ju draget åt dem nu.
Ja, nej, jag tycker du kör draget.
So the situation's pretty challenging for Sweden. USA's in control positions. And Sweden had a couple of different options that they were going with. They could try and play a takeout again, but they've decided to switch tactics, move to the draw,
Lite mer, Kiki.
and he needs a little bit more ice.
Bra.
Inne. Bra.
And Pettersson-Dahl's rock is away. This one is sitting pretty wide. It's going to curl. It's going to move to your left as it picks up the speed and the shape of the ice. This needs a little bit more weight.
Sätter en
This
fin.
perfect line. Just not enough momentum.
Let's just chap ours up.
Yeah.
Jag ser inte hur det...
I think we're 1-2 right now.
We're 1-2? I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're 1-2. Tapping is not going to do any good. I mean, it looks good, but I'm not going to say it's for certain.
Then let's just give it a little tap.
Let's go. Yep.
Okay, so basically, USA is trying to figure out a way to guarantee their 2 points. Third Steve Empt is
I feel the same way.
80% sure that they're sitting count 1 and 2.
Little less ice.
USA would like to make sure that they are count 1 and 2. So with this hammer stone, they're going to try and tap up, just touch the red rock in the front of the rings. Move it a little bit. Line looks pretty good.
Nope, didn't make it.
The weight is
Oh, yes, it is.
beautiful. And now I think it's pretty certain.
You ready? Thank you.
It's 2 points for USA to open this
Attaboy, Kirk.
5th
Thank you.
session.
It was on already. Nice shot.
Thank you.
Fick de en trea på den eller?
Två.
Okay, great end, good.
Let's go.
Good job all the way around.
Nu tar vi... Kommer ju undan lite med brottningsskräckisen. Kom igen.
After that first end,
Yeah.
USA 2, Sweden will take the hammer in the second. Early in the game, only 8 rocks are thrown. And you can see that it's actually quite consistent between the two teams. The real difference is who made what and when. And that's really going to be the story of this game. Both of these teams need to up their accuracy percentages a little bit as they go through. They need to connect to the speed of the ice, that draw weight, and kind of recognize sides of the ice, speed of the ice, the shape of the ice, how much things are moving. And as soon as they get comfortable, I think both these teams can start to execute at a really high level. USA with the lead. They're going to look to put these rocks maybe right into the rings, keep the play in the house. It's a bit defensive, but gives USA an opportunity to control the scoring area early in the end.
You're fine. Just need to hang on the back. Sit. Oh, maybe not. My bad.
So a little bit of an overcorrection from
Där ute.
Japp.
Penny's last stone.
Now it's a verb.
Believe in the times.
Now it's a verb. It's a slug, it's sluggish, and it's slugging.
And it slips just through the rings. Kiki Ulander,
Inne
she's going to
lite.
try and put a
Bra.
rock in the corner in front of the rings. Basically, the idea here is that they take control of one side of the ice, and that leaves a path open to the center if they need it at the end of the end. This rock looks to have a little bit of momentum, but it should stop nicely as a corner guard, halfway and just on the side of the sheet. Beautiful shot.
Bra steg. Bra.
Cut away.
5-6.
That was a 14-4 right there.
Penny is a very experienced athlete out here for Team USA.
13-6.
She was on the Paralympic team in Sochi, Russia in 2014.
That's nice.
There you go, Penn.
Drop.
And she shows it there, puts that rock nicely into the 5 zone,
Never failed.
4-5 zone for USA.
Drop.
Sträck ut.
So you can see that extra force, Sweden looking to take out the USA stone. They'd ideally like to roll under the corner guard that they had just put up,
Tage. Det går ganska rakt.
Ja, såg den.
but they're okay with the roll away. That's a really good rock position.
Fint och vika.
Kiki Ulander keeping her excellent play rolling here.
Let's go, kid.
Now we get to see a takeout from the youngest player on the sheet. Justin Marshall is age 31. He lines up with his real specific rock right behind his eye. Reaches out to the target,
That's all that matters.
lets that stone go,
9-2.
and removes the Swedish stone from the scoring area.
Curl up.
That was a
Dragning
100.
bakom. 13-5.
13-5. Vill du ha bak den eller går det bra?
With that rollout, Sweden's options are really clear here. They've got the corner guard up. They've got the last stone advantage. Mats-Ola Engborg is going to need to draw a rock right behind it.
Inne lite. Bra. Bra! Bra!
So there's a nice amount of rotations on this stone. Really steady, coming in, moving very clearly.
Gå bakom då.
And that's near perfect weight. Yeah, Sweden is happy with that. They've set it up.
Bra jobbat.
USA can see a bit of that.
You like that, Broom?
Just a touch less.
So it's pretty simple shot selection here. Justin Marshall needs to make contact with that rock in the rings.
Very nice.
Oh, and he just
Very
gets
nice.
by the guard. Oh, that is
10-0.
really nice.
Beauty, Clark.
Spela 10!
Tage.
Nej, 9!
9.
Marginal den!
Ja.
Pedersen Dahl knows that his corner guard is a bit stymied with that excellent shot from USA. They're going to try and get around and tap the USA stone out. They're okay if they move the corner guard.
Jag får nog flytta lite då. Så, bra.
Bra!
Nej, det blir gående så det bara visar.
So this one is moving really quickly.
Okej, bra.
It could make a raise. Could make a raise takeout. Oh, just misses the rock in the rings.
Thank you.
8-4.
Now USA's got a couple of choices. They can come underneath the guards, try and come under, or they can split the rings.
Think 13?
So they've chosen to split the rings, and they're just trying to create some separation between their rocks. They've got a 2-point lead. They'd love to steal a point, but more importantly, they'd love to get the hammer back. So they're trying to force Sweden into taking a single point.
Easy, easy, easy.
So this is the little bit
12-6.
quicker spot.
What is it? Good. Sit, sit, sit.
Very nice,
This rock's
Steve.
going to stick around right in the back of the 8-foot there. It's a nice shot.
So, came out.
Niklas!
Oh,
Japp.
That was impressive.
And they know it.
Kom igen.
Bra!
The intensity and focus for these athletes, that setup at the beginning, it is so important
Niklas 9!
in a target sport. Making sure you're lined up absolutely perfectly
Japp.
gives you a chance to make a shot just like that. A perfect shot.
Bra.
yep.
Hit and roll back to the center of the ice.
Ibland vänta.
Det var ju så spännande.
And with that motion back towards the corner guard that they put up early in the end, they're bringing the play back over to that side of the ice where Sweden wants to try and hide some of their stones behind. USA is going to try and hit and roll the other way, back out away from the corner guard.
Nice weight.
One other thing to watch for when is the number of rotations these rocks have. It makes a huge difference. That stone that Steve Emp just threw had quite a bit of rotation, and that's going to take a rock straighter in trajectory and further in distance. So we'll see, this is a similar shot being thrown by Ronnie Persson, and we'll see how many rotations he's got in relative comparison. It makes a big difference. So that's one. Now we've got 2 rotations. So this rock is going to curl a little bit more. So you can see it came across the face and moved to the outside. Great shot. But there's just subtle differences there when you use the number of rotations and how that impacts a stone.
Nej, jag tror... Ja, kändes hårt, men det... Jag vet inte.
Steve Empt looks like he's singing there, enjoying himself in this amazing championship setting. That's a good thing. Being loose and enjoying the opportunity while you're out there, it makes a huge difference. So they line up, and then the player behind Kirk Black, he's holding onto the chair, and really what that's doing is creating a little bit of extra stability for the chair so that your upper body is the only thing that's moving and creating the momentum behind the stone.
Nicely done, Kirk.
Thank you.
Really nice shot there. That nice little hit and roll.
Niklas!
Ja, Niklas!
Kom igen.
Sweden's got a couple of options here, but they're choosing to hit this USA stone. They could play a draw, a delicate weight shot into the scoring zone and try and sit in front of the USA stone. That stone's really moving. It's really curling.
9-6!
Det är bra.
Bra,
Does
William!
a great job there and sits.
Same weight.
Count stone.
Same weight.
You got it.
Very simply setting up if USA should happen to have a miscue here. Sweden's opportunity for 2 points is out there to tie up this game.
Another good one.
Very nice, Kirk. It's a beauty.
And now Sweden has got to execute against 2 USA counters in the scoring area.
Niklas!
Niklas!
Han var lite lös på förra.
Ja, 9-6!
Bra.
Kom igen.
Bra!
So this stone is away, looking to hit the USA stone right on the nose,
9-6!
and it just doesn't curl enough. Really fortunate outcome for Team USA. Very frustrating for Sweden.
Straight in all the way around.
Kom igen, William.
I don't know. We got to practice this.
Yeah, we got to work on that a little bit, huh?
USA taking the opportunity to work on their high fives after
You want it?
stealing 2 points in the second end.
Den andra var mera. Men kom igen, sträck ut den.
They've got a 4-0 lead over Sweden. We can see how it's happening so far. It's all USA on the scoreboard. 2 points with the hammer in the first end, and a steal of 2 points in the second end. USA's very experienced lead, Penny Greeley, putting this rock into play.
Beautiful line.
Penny played in the Sochi Games, as mentioned before, but very interestingly, she's already got a Paralympic medal. It's a bronze medal, and it came in sitting volleyball at the 2004 Paralympic Games in Athens, Greece. She'd love to add to that medal collection and pick up a winter medal.
13-5. Kom igen.
So USA's opening stone comes a little short of the rings. Kiki Ulander's going to try and draw around it. She's been playing so steady. Getting her rocks in the scoring position could be a difference maker for Sweden. This one is looking a little light and it's over curled. All of a sudden, as these stones are coming up light or coming up a little heavy, you can feel that the momentum switches from team to team.
Jag hade 14-6, Billy hade 14-9.
So USA is taking the opportunity to put a rock to the side of the rings.
11-8. Stick around. Stick around.
And I'm not 100% sure that the tactics there are kind of the prescribed tactics. Traditionally, when you don't have last rock advantage, you would go underneath those center guards and try and put a rock into the center of the rings, undercover, which is what Sweden's going to try and do now. Kiki has a chance to throw in the same exact spot she just threw. She should know to add a little bit more momentum. Which she did. As you can see, she passed her other stone. And this one should stick around in the back of the rings and undercover, hidden.
Got it, Justin.
Now Justin Marshall, he can see a little more than half that stone. If anything, USA would like to miss on the inside because they have a chance to remove some of those guards that they seem to be a little bit concerned with based on the shot selections they made. And they open it up a bit and they tap their own stone towards the rings. That's a pretty good outcome.
Gard är också okej.
Ja.
Gard, marginal gard, framkant, gå.
1,5, 14 då.
So this is a nice setup.
14,5 kanske.
As the thrower gets ready, settles himself, teammate behind, stabilizes the chair, and the other teammate, Kiki Ulander in this situation, she's got her stopwatch. She's timing the rocks, every single rock. And what that does is that gives information to the thrower for the speed of the ice and how much momentum to put on the stone.
13-9.
And you'll note that these players do the same thing the same way as often as possible.
Let's go, buddy. All day long. Do what you do best.
Nose is good. Yeah. Slightly off nose.
Nose is great.
So when they say nose, that means hit the rock squarely, one to the other, directly on the face of it.
Give me just a touch less.
Justin's got quite a bit of momentum. Very strong thrower. Loves these takeouts. Looking for the double. Oh, and he gets it. That is a great shot. Oh, the second stone just sticks around in the back of the rings.
Träff där.
So, almost takes out 2 stones, I should say. But it definitely changes the look of things. Now, all of a sudden, the scoring area is bigger. Stones are at the edges of the rings instead of in the center.
Där. Nej, tillbaka. Bra.
So that rock runs just a little bit straighter than they wanted, but they remove the USA stone.
Still in?
So USA with that 4-point lead, they've been pretty clear with their intentions. They're going to try and take things out of play. They don't need to generate any more scores. What they need to do is limit their opposition's score. And they are on it too in this draw.
Ta den. Niklas.
Ja.
Nej, Ronny.
Ja.
Vi drar.
13-5.
So this is a wise change in tactics here.
13-5.
Sweden needs to generate some points.
Stick ut och lugn och fin.
They need to put some rocks in play. Use the rocks that are there and available to them. So they're going to ask Ronny Persson to draw underneath, and this will be a clockwise rotating shot, moving from the player's left to right. And you can see that stone start to move and pick up the curl. It's very weight dependent, and that rock is a little bit heavy and slides just through the back of the rings.
Nej, kom igen.
Go here.
I like
You
that.
go here.
Either one. I like the center guard better, though. I like the center better, I think.
I like here.
Test that one.
I like
Yeah,
this.
I like that. Like 14, right?
So the discussion back and forth on the ice for all of the teams here, it's really critical that everyone is on the same page and that you are really all buying in to what you're trying to accomplish. So after a little bit of discussion, there was a couple of options there. They could have drawn underneath the guards, but instead they're choosing to put a stone in the scoring area, but block Sweden's access. Make Sweden's shots harder.
13-9.
What'd you get, Penny?
It's a beauty.
Kan ju dra in i det här hålet. Alternativet som jag ser är ju slå den där och sen
Said 14. She said, how about
So you can
13?
see now the way into the rings, it's a little more challenging.
Känner du för draget där?
Sweden
Okay.
has to navigate multiple rocks.
Curlar ju inte jättemycket kändes det som innan.
Nej.
So much like USA's Penny Greeley, Ronny Persson is a very experienced Paralympian. His previous Paralympic experience comes in Salt Lake City in 2002 and Nagano, Japan in 1998. His medal collection is already quite large,
Bra
having
linje
won
annars. Bra.
5 different medals between those 2 games.
The way those guards are, I think that's there all day. Yeah, I like that. Maybe we'll go for this out here.
He's going to be a little disappointed with that outcome. Just a little bit
13-4.
narrow.
14
Runs
out here,
into
Kirk.
the U.S. rock in front of the ring.
2-3 is fine.
2-3 is fine.
Draw in the hole.
Just plug the hole.
Could also tap that one, stay there.
Yeah, if it's heavy, you just tap it, huh?
Okay.
I mean, it's a biter.
2-3 is fine. 14.
So USA is actually okay with being short of the rings here. 2-3 is a guard position in front of the rings. This is the same spot in the ice from the first end where
14-1. Very nice.
Team USA Skip had thrown that nice little tap in the
Very
first
nice.
end. He is managing the weight beautifully in that spot of the ice. It's a congested area in front of those rings, forcing Team Sweden to go way to the outside on their shot. You can see how close Ulander is to the boards. She's setting the trajectory. So that brush she's holding, we know that there's no sweeping in wheelchair curling, but that brush she's holding is actually the target where Pettersson Dahl is looking right now.
Bra.
He's going to try and release a stone directly at that target with the perfect weight. And because there's no sweeping, these athletes have to be perfect all on their own. There's very little margin of error.
Bra William.
And this one needs to hang out there, and it
13-1.
just rubs off, but it does get into the scoring area.
Ja, jag var så säker att det skulle
No,
gå
we just
förbi.
won. That's all the time. There are
So
2 here. It's a biter.
Vi sa 13.
They're going to hit that.
No, I don't want to hit it.
Yeah, no, he's saying guarding it.
Oh.
It's either guard it or we tap one up.
I like the guard.
It's fine. You're gonna have to give me a lot of
You
room.
go to tap if you want, though. Whatever you're comfortable with.
So this would be a good
Guard.
moment for
Yeah,
USA
it's fine.
to try and remember how well Kirk has thrown in that other spot on the ice. This is the spot where he came up a little bit short in the first end. But they're going to try and block the way, kind of the access to that yellow stone that was just thrown. So this rock, they're going to look to be over that hog line
Come on. Come on. Come on.
and just blocking the path.
Nicely done, Kirk.
And that is a well-positioned rock. You can see it is blocking the path, but it's a little long. If Sweden can see the motion of the ice,
Va?
they can still tap the stone they just threw.
Flytt och dra på den sidan. Kommer vi över och tuggar i egen och styr in den lite kanske.
Va?
Eller vad tror du? Alternativet är ju att dra på den sidan. Ja. Men den är ju väldigt... Jag måste gå väldigt långt.
Ska du inte köra ut flytt där också då i så fall?
So you can see how
Har en chans att komma runt.
the third for Sweden is moving up the boards and giving a wider trajectory. So it's a wider point
Kör ut flytt.
at which to aim.
12-5 eller?
12-5.
Räcker den där isen?
Ja, det är 13-1 på din förra.
Ja. Öka lite.
So this is a little bit of an experiment out
Kom igen
here.
nu. Sträck ut. Den är din.
This shot is
Du
so
äger.
wide
Bra.
on the outside edge of the ice. They don't have a lot of information, you know, those numbers that they've been exchanging. There's not a lot of information about this spot in the ice.
11-2.
And he had a nice line, great trajectory, just a little too much weight.
Kom igen nu.
One
Nu.
red.
One red.
One red.
Yes, one red.
Yep. Yep.
So after taking a look at those rocks,
Ja, det var så
Good
nära.
job, guys. Another great.
USA continues its thievery
Yep.
with some great shots made. USA takes a 5-0 lead after 3 ends. Getting a look at the statistics here, you can see USA throwing with absolute precision on their takeouts. And it's leading to this line score. Still all United States of America. Sweden's going to need to capitalize on having that last stone advantage here in the 4th end.
Måste försöka
Få igång.
komma igång lite mer.
Gotta go. 14-4.
So USA trying to put this rock into the rings, and it comes up short again. Now, with that 5-point lead, they are really not looking for rocks in front of the rings. They are looking to keep the play in the rings, and with their hitting accuracy,
Är det så?
Bra!
they just want to be able to take everything out.
Kommer in lite.
Sweden's going to look to put that corner guard back up. They had set things up quite nicely for themselves, so they know that with some execution and the last rocks at the end, they can generate their multiple score.
Ja, kom igen nu.
So they're sticking with their game plan. USA, this is, they're trying to take their own stone out, but they merely just replace it. They were trying to peel their own away because they have that 5-0 lead. They want as few rocks in play as possible. But just over curls a hair, and
You want it? Ask for it. He'll give it to you.
13-5.
it's just an exchange of stones for USA.
Bra!
Lugn.
Bra Kiki.
And Kiki Stone trying to hide behind the first rock she threw. So she's at a little bit of weight, but this needs to stop. It needs to dig in. It's sliding pretty deep, but it ends up sticking around. That's a great shot underneath the corner guard.
You have that, right?
Yeah, I got it all.
Someone want to peel something? No, no.
I got it all.
You can either pill, we can either pill it or we just take it.
No, let's take it.
Fine
Got all
with
of
that.
So USA goes through their options there. They can peel the corner guard. So we're just remove the corner guard from play, or they can hit the stone in the rings. And because they can see all of it, and Justin Marshall has been throwing very good takeouts. They're going to take advantage of that opportunity, seeing all the stone.
Very nice.
Nicely done. 9-4. Nice stone.
And
That's my boy. That's my mom. That's his mom.
hits perfectly right on the nose. Sits right there. You'd like to see Sweden try and draw down in there, but it looks like they've decided to play a takeout. Now remember, many of Mott's rocks have hit and rolled out. He's hit the object rock, but he's not kept his shooter in play. They are down by 5 points, and they really needed that one right there. A nice hit, stick, right in the rings. I believe it is still wide open, though. They had a chance, maybe draw down to the USA stone. They've got some catching up to do. And by hitting, they're playing into the USA's hands, limiting the rocks in play. Precision. And take it out again. And now that rock is above the center of the house, it's above the tee line, and that's the line that bisects the rings. For sure, Sweden has to move it now. So this is the 4th time in a row for this spot, this shot. That stone is curling quite a bit. That is moving hard. Over curls and takes out their corner guard. It's really quite disastrous considering the scoreboard.
I like that. Feel it?
Yeah, I like that too.
Yep. Good call.
So with that mistake by Sweden, USA gets a chance to clean up their own mistake.
If you're peeling it, maybe a little less.
No, I might tend to curl up. I don't throw the rockets you do.
All right.
So USA trying to peel their own stone from in front of the rings. They don't want to leave anything for Sweden to hide behind.
Line.
Stay there.
Very nice, Dave.
And all of a sudden you can see that their tactics, what they're trying to do, pull the play into the rings, keep things clear. Sweden's going to need to take a couple of chances here. Maybe try and freeze, draw into the rings. Force USA's hand a bit. One of the ways to force USA's hand is maybe covering the button in the center of the ice. It is still wide open after that excellent shot. So this is exactly in the same spot that Steve just threw.
Work to do.
Might need to
Work
curl
to
a
do.
little
Come
bit.
on. Come on. Come on. Come
It
on.
does not get enough of that rock.
Japp, skritta på.
Maybe just a hair wide on that.
Just needed to give you less burrow.
It's all good. It's all
It's
good.
always nice when your skip says, you know, you threw it good, you threw it good. I just gave you the wrong target. And it's also smart for these teams to be very honest about what's happening, how they missed, and what they did in order to make sure that they don't do it a second time.
Bra!
Sättning. Lite innan. Okej.
So it's a test.
Farten då bara.
He's been throwing takeouts. Now he has to throw a draw.
12-7.
The draw shot is that shot that lands right in the rings, has just enough momentum to stay in the scoring zone,
Japp.
and no problem.
Ja, bra.
Hey, we're taking this one. You got it, bud.
So the skip sets his eye directly behind his target, right behind the rock, right down the cue.
Hold on.
Come on.
Hold on.
Come on.
You got her. You got it.
Come on.
Oh, and that rock is just getting
Vi drar!
nicked and bumped around by USA and not removed. Sweden in an excellent chance to take at minimum 2 points.
Det är bra.
Dra framkant eller?
Försöker dra in den emot här bara, men framkant igen.
So he's been struggling a bit with his draw weight. This is a wide open house and a fantastic opportunity.
Den är din.
Viljo Pedersendal needs to find his draw weight right now. This one needs to go a little bit further.
Do a little more.
Det är bra.
Yep, the last one's about 11. You got it.
So, Team USA gets a chance to make the shot they just missed. They've discussed that they're going to keep the same target, but they're going to try and throw a little bit more momentum, a little bit more weight behind the stone.
Much better, thank you. It's a beauty, Kirk.
And that works out to be a very good choice.
Niklas!
Japp!
Hela vägen. Sträck ut ordentligt nu. Den där har du. Den är din. Lugn och fin.
Bra!
The best chance for Sweden yet is away. He needs to hit and stick, and they can take two and tighten the gap.
8-6!
8-7, 8-6. Ja, kom igen nu.
Just doesn't get
Bring
the
the broom.
curl. That is
Justin,
the
grab the broom.
second time that that rock has
Thank you.
run incredibly
Yeah.
straight in that exact spot for Sweden. disappointment is evident there.
Är det någonting med stenarna du känner när du drar? För det är som att de bara...
Having a really tough go of it here as we go into the half point. That mid-game break. USA 6, Sweden 0. The Gangneung Curling Centre holds 3,000, almost 3,000 fans. And I know that they're enjoying all of the great play from these athletes. And if they're USA fans, they are incredibly happy. If they are Team Sweden fans, they are hopeful for an extraordinary second half of the game and a brilliant comeback. So now these mid-game breaks gives you a chance to talk to your coach. That's Rusty Schreiber, the coach for Team USA.
Anyway, you've been putting them into position for tough shots.
Some people are taking the opportunity to take their own mid-game break. Taking a look at the play stats here, Penny Greeley, an uncharacteristically soft game here at 28%. But look at the back end for USA. Steve Empt, Kirk Black, both playing in the 70s, really upping their precision. It's Team USA gathering with their coach and their alternate Megan Lino, getting ready for that last half. Take that 6-point lead and make sure they keep staying ahead in the score.
That's not an issue. I loved it that you went and got that frickin' dart out of the way. I was sure. And I told Marcus, he says, I feel the dart should go, but
Look at Sweden. Kiki Ulander holding steady in the 70s. The story of this game can be seen in the stats from their skip, their fourth player, really struggling. So some time with their coaching staff, an alternate.
Fram med knetspelet nu. Det är 4 omgångar kvar. Kan de så kan vi. Ta fram och gneta.
Upp med skräp.
Gneta hur mycket som helst.
Yeah, Sweden needs to settle down and kind of enjoy being out there, take advantage of the opportunity.
Men då kör vi samverkan.
And kind of enjoy putting the rocks in play in that scoring zone. It's a tough scoreboard to look at if you're Sweden, though. Not having put a single point on the board in a half, USA's dominance is very clear right now.
okay, thank you.
Now here's the story of this game. It looks relatively even. USA is being very accurate at the takeouts. But it's about what shots are made and when your skip isn't making shots, when your skip isn't finishing the ends for your team, it's just really difficult to score. So Ulander, Egborg, and Persson is going to try and lift their skip and move this scoreboard. Sweden has taken this opportunity they've made a lineup change actually. So we're going to see a new look Sweden team in the second half of this game. Penny Greeley looking to put that rock in the rings. They're okay if it slides all the way through, and it does. And we get our first look at the alternate, Sandra Reppe. She's coming in. She's moving into the lead position. So when a team makes a player change, they are allowed to adjust the lineup once. You're allowed to move everybody once. And now that Sweden has made its lineup change at the halfway point, they're just looking to change the energy. They know that their skip is struggling, so they bring in their alternate, and right away, no trouble. She connects to the speed of the ice and keeps the game rolling. Now, Sweden, the lineup changes that they've made, they have moved Kiki Ulander to the skip position and throwing the fourth rocks.
Great weight.
Good job, Pen. Go, girl.
What, you get 100%?
So Sandra Reppe, she gets a chance to throw up a corner guard on the other side of the ice. As frustrating as the scoreboard is for Sweden, this must be a really nice moment for the alternate to get a chance to come out here and play on the Paralympic ice in an awesome venue. And she's taking advantage of it. So we go look at the statistics for Justin Marshall. He is upping his play tonight. It is a little bit better. You can see he's having a much stronger game. He is a takeout master tonight. Throwing the big weight with accuracy. And he removes the corner guard and rolls to a center guard. That's a nice position for USA Rocks.
Antingen det eller slå och rulla.
Ja.
Kör
Vi drar
dragning.
första.
Ja, gör det.
So slipping just a little bit statistically.
Bra!
And he's made a lot of shots here at the second position, but just they've been half shots. So instead of the hit and stick, it was the hit and roll out. And then, you know, he wrecked on a couple of guards, and that's really what dropped his percentage in this game.
14!
And even though that rock right there that Mats Ola Engberg just threw isn't perfect, it's in a really good position. It's in front of the rings. It's in it's usable for Sweden.
Yeah, come this way.
Yeah.
You want to catch that yellow first, right?
Back.
I don't think it matters.
Okay. I'm not going to sneak through the middle, am I?
I don't think you can get a stone through there.
Let's hope not.
USA is holding to their game plan. They're taking out as many of the Swedish stones that they can that go into play.
Good.
Beauty, Justin. 8-2.
Sorry, buddy.
Justin throws one of the strongest or fastest stones in the tournament. And he moves a lot of granite with that last shot. Matz's job is going to be to replace that granite, put it back into play.
I stick here.
Ja.
And Sweden's elected to take a throw takeout, and there it is again, that hit and roll out. And that's what's causing a little bit of trouble. Sweden needs rocks in play. They need to be, even though USA is ahead in the scoreboard, they cannot be afraid of USA rocks. They've got to use them to their advantage. And with that hit and roll out, it allows Steve Empt a chance to take out the last rock that is remaining in play. And you can see Steve's having an extraordinary game at 78%. He's been strong in both draws and takeouts. Just a very steady play across the board.
Very nice.
It's gonna nose it.
It's all right. Give it a little more brew.
So USA trying to peel their stone out of play. Just replaces it.
It doesn't hurt. Doesn't make the situation any worse.
No.
So it's a neutral play, as it were. Ronnie Persona is having a good game. Steady game. Struggling a bit on his draw weight, but lots of good takeouts.
Bra.
Now would be a perfect time for him to find that draw weight, that touch shot weight. He's got a guard out in front of the rings. And this rock could curl just behind and stay in the scoring area. It's good news for Sweden.
Bra, Ronny.
Got it all?
2/3, just peel it.
Den skulle gå rakt
Ja.
igenom. Ja, ja.
Like
Det
that.
var ju bra.
A little wide, we'll get the one in the back.
Yep.
I won't be wide.
So that was just you just heard a little mental double check. He said, if I'm a little wide, I can get the one in the back, which is fine, but you don't want to think about missing before you attempt to make a shot. So Steve reset himself, said, I won't be wide. And then, you know, in his head, he said, I'm going to be right on target.
9. There you go. Very nice.
Dra ut på kant.
So that 6-point cushion, USA is very comfortable, just trying to keep things wide open.
Thank you. That first one, I need a little bit more.
13.
And
Yep.
all things being equal at this point, if
Ja, jag
USA
föredrar 12.
keeps making their shots through this end, and even if
Yeah.
Sweden does, the most Sweden can score is 2 points.
Bra.
Sweden's going to look to create as much separation between their 2 rocks in the rings.
Jag drar ner, ja.
So Persson is being asked to draw to the other side of the house.
14-4.
Get it, bud.
This rock needs to get a little bit more momentum.
Ja, men vi har någonting ifall att vi måste gömma oss.
And it sits short of the rings. A bit of a missed opportunity there for Sweden. The good news is that they left it up there for a corner guard, so there is still something that they might be able to hide behind. The bad news for Sweden is that Kirk Black is having a great game. He has come to play tonight.
Yeah.
He looks comfortable. He looks really settled in to this environment. It's his first Paralympic Games. It's a big stage to be on for the first time. And in this 3rd game for Team USA, their skip has really found his groove. He's hoping to keep that going here with a takeout of the Swedish stone that's in the rings.
Stay there. there.
Just ticks that stone. It happens quite a bit.
Vi drar bakom.
Just ticks that stone. Now Kiki Ulander. Remember, those numbers, that game accuracy, 72%. That was when she was throwing lead rocks. And all of a sudden, at the halfway point with the lineup change, she's got the pressure of throwing the last 2 stones for her squad. Hopefully those strong numbers continue in the second half. It is a bit of a different thing to manage the pressure of the last couple of stones.
I hope so.
And it is no problem
Everyone
for
kick
the
it.
cool, confident Kiki Ulander. That is absolutely perfect. Pressure situation. This is probably the most pressure that USA skip's been under.
Stay there. Stay there. There you go.
And he executes really well. That was their goal. Get rid of that stone in the back of the rings.
Boy. I need a little more room, I think, each time.
13.
Sweden is for sure on the scoreboard right now.
Yes.
What's that?
The goose eggs are over. Kiki Ulander has a chance to make that number a crooked one. She needs to be anywhere in the house. So she's got 12 feet of space coming down the middle here.
Another one.
That is
Bra
gonna
kick.
stick around, and Sweden's lineup change has made a bit of a difference.
Nu börjar jakten.
And the difference is they've gone from 0 points on the scoreboard
Du, jag måste gå upp igen.
to 2.
Vad är klockan då?
Number 6, we're golden.
Put her on in the house.
So that's what it looks like. It's 6-2. Sweden making a little bit of a dent in USA's lead. Now, here's where the numbers get interesting. USA, their takeout percentage is extraordinary. Their draw percentage is low, but with that early lead, so that lead early in the game, all they've been throwing is takeouts. Sweden has been throwing really nice draws, but they just weren't calling them enough. So, and they weren't finishing the ends. And all of a sudden, Sweden made a couple of draws, finished the end nicely, and they put 2 points on the scoreboard in the 5th end. So the new look Swedish team starts out here in the 6th. They've got the first rock, and they're going to want a center guard. And it looks like their alternate,
16. Bra Sandra!
Sandra Reppe,
go, US, let's go.
very nicely put that rock up there. There's a center guard. They're going to try and hide behind it. USA's Penny Greeley is going to try and put this rock into the rings. USA still has a pretty significant lead.
12-2. Stick around.
Sandra, en till!
Stick around.
And just a little bit heavy. Penny very clearly struggling in tonight's game.
12-2.
So this is curling a little bit. Might tick her own rock. And it does. It's all right. They were hoping to draw into a controlled position right on the center line behind their center guard. Penny's going to try and put a rock right in the rings, right through the port here, and draw under cover. Oh, and she just comes up a little light. A little bit of an overcorrection from her first rock, which went through the rings. And 2 misses out of USA's lead gives Sweden a real opportunity.
Bra! Kom in lite.
So coming up a bit short there, over curled her hair. Just checking in on what happened there with his skip.
You want to come the other way?
Was I narrow?
jam on the red,
Was I
will it?
light?
Come the other way, it's fine.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
So now the young man with the very forceful shot needs to move a couple of stones out of play. One at a time will be all right, but they'd love to get 2 stones out of play and lose the shooter.
8-2. Oh,
Just over curls a little bit on them.
8-2.
Dra dit!
Narrow.
Yeah, a little bit.
Too much rotation. The screw moves. I gotta like tape it so it stays.
Jag ska gå, jag går ner där. Va? Vad sa du?
Jag sticker nu, ja.
Ja, gör det.
So lining up the draw shot.
Bra!
So this rock is curling into the center of the rings. It's got to get past the guards. I don't think it's going to. Again, just ticking on so many guards. That's the 4th guard in the game
13-9.
that Mats has ticked on. Either needs a little bit more ice or a little bit
Fine,
more
taking that
momentum.
one off, or that.
Nu, upp med hakan. Upp med...
I like the
Take
yellow
this
one.
one.
Yellow.
Yeah, I like that.
But USA's job's getting tougher and tougher with the more rocks that are in front of the rings. You can see there's a lot of traffic. If Sweden were to ever get a rock hidden behind, it'd be very difficult to get to. They do remove 1.
Dra in!
Ja. Thank you. Perfect.
13!
Ja.
But with that shot, it now kind of opened up the path into behind all the cover. Not sure USA got enough out of that shot selection.
Jag måste flytta mig. Så, tack.
Ute! Bra!
So right down the path, it's got a little bit more room. This is looking a little spicy, a little hot.
Kom igen!
USA's got to be close to a little bit of a decision change here. They keep sticking with the peel, but it's almost impossible to get rid of all those rocks out there. At some point, they may make the choice to move to a more offensive shot selection. These takeouts are all defense. That's what the scoreboard dictates, being up by 4 points. But the situation and the reality of the rock placement on the ice might challenge you to make a more offensive shot selection.
Stay out there. Stay. Very nice. That'll work.
Dragning!
Japp.
Give me some PVG.
Sweden's hoping third time's the charm in this spot. Third rock right in a row. Ronnie Parson gets a chance to take a little weight off this shot and make it perfect. They know the line.
Ute lite. Bra!
He knows the weight. He's just got to do it now. This looks like a little bit narrower line than his last one. And it looks like a bit of an overcorrection. There's no chance for this rock. Comes up light. Now this is the moment where USA's got to make a choice. They know they can't get rid of all three of those rocks lined up on the center.
Man blir lång, man blir kort. Kom igen.
13.
13.
It's time to change tactics. USA is going to move from defense to offense. They're going to put this rock right underneath all three of those guards on the center line. Very high performing USA third. Lines up his shot, takes that cleansing breath.
Good line.
Check up a little bit.
Puts the rock in play.
I think it's all right.
Easy, 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 easy.
Very nice. 12-9.
High though. Run it high. Run it high.
Yeah, like the run and hide. He wants it to curl and hide behind the rocks.
Tage!
All right. That's just fine. Oh.
Sweden's got a chance now with that rock slipping to the back of the rings to draw underneath the center guard. But it looks like they're making the choice to hit in the back of the rings.
Är lagom?
Kommer hoppa lite till. Så, tack.
Now, with a skip who is making 75% of her draws, I might make a different choice in this situation, knowing that I'm down by 4 points and there are only a couple ends left to play. You know, it doesn't move the needle in there.
Yeah, edge of the 8.
It doesn't.
Yeah, I had you a little more than edge of 8.
All right.
It doesn't help you get
Go edge of the 8.
up on
Go
the
13.
scoreboard.
We got it.
There's plenty of room for rocks hidden underneath those center guards. You see, she just hits a little bit on the outside edge of the rock and rolls out of play.
Du bara kliver in det. Ja.
USA skip gets a chance to put this rock underneath those center guards. He's thrown quite a few draws today. It's been fairly accurate. Had a really nice command of draw weight. The line looks really good.
12-8-8. Good time. Very nice.
Slips just behind the center line, just behind that 1 foot circle in the center of the rings. Gives Sweden a little bit of an opportunity.
Ska vi dra emot? Eller vi
Känns
tar
det bättre? Okej, gör det.
Vi lägger oss emot.
Okej.
So now if Sweden can
Vad hade ni för
draw a
det?
rock and freeze it right onto the face of that USA stone that slipped just behind
12-5.
the T line, or that center line bisecting the rings. It's going to be very difficult
Lite
for
ute.
USA to
Bra.
remove.
Lite inne. Bra.
Den är för hård. Jag går ner.
Stone's got a little bit of traveling to do, a little bit of curling to do.
Good shot.
Just maybe a hair heavy. If that had had nice draw weight speed, would have curled up.
Jag var lite för hård.
Now USA skip, he's got to navigate a bit of a port, but it's a relatively wide open house. Getting some assistance from his teammate. And he's going to try and repeat the shot he just threw.
There.
Nice
Got
shot.
really nice line, and he's got a rock he can run into in the rings.
Very nice.
Attaboy, Kirk.
2.
Great shot, buddy. Love it.
2 red.
Really nice shot there.
Men vi hör vad de andra säger.
Nice job, bro.
Jag antar att Sandra tar gärna en till.
Sandra kör nog gärna en till.
Ja.
Vad säger ni? Vill ni kliva av eller ska vi köra en till?
USA is going to enjoy that. It was a nice execution. Sweden's going to make a game plan. They need to make some stronger shot selections, I think. It's not just execution. It's about what shot they choose to make and when.
Det är bra.
They've got a lot of work to do. They're down by 6 points. USA 8, Sweden 2.
På båda sidorna kan det
Kom igen.
Oh, you've been shopping, admiring,
No.
looking,
I mean, yes.
starting
Yes.
to.
So those numbers are staying pretty steady after another end. Sweden's still doing a nice job with its draws. They need to put more of those in play. And now there's no doubt they've got 2 ends left. They've got to create a lot of scoring opportunities. And because of that 6-point lead, and also really because their lead is struggling a little bit, USA is throwing that rock through the rings. They're not going to chance leaving anything in play. And it's going to be up to Sandra.
Bra!
She wants to put this rock in front of the rings. Now, the key reason why they don't want this rock in the rings is because of what's called the free guard zone rule. If you put the rock just over that foul line the big red line that's in play, and outside of the scoring area. It cannot be removed until the second stones. So it's like a little bit of a freebie. You can set up your block, set up your guard, and it cannot be removed. It can be moved, just not removed.
Inne. Bra.
So much like some of the other players out here, Sandra also has multiple Paralympic appearances. Her other appearances come in the sport of archery. It's a shooting sport. It's a summer sport.
Absolutely.
She's
Sure.
very
You have this
used
one back
to
here?
these
I got all
target
of it.
sports.
You do?
But we can still take the guard.
Yeah, that's fine.
You narrow, you
Fine
pull
with
the guard.
this.
Yeah, just give me tight broom.
Tight broom. If you take the guard, that's fine.
Okay.
Throw that 13.
Yep.
Good line.
Sorry.
No, I got the back one.
Lead 'em.
Fine.
Right. Like I said, you got the back one. 8-3.
So that was an either-or shot from USA. So they set the target so that you could take the corner guard out of play. So,
Nästan hela.
but if you miss the
Kan
corner
vi
guard,
komma Tage?
you get the rock in the rings, and you look real good.
Ligger lite där. Inne lite. Bra.
So with a little bit of feedback from a skip that he's lined up absolutely perfectly after the minor adjustment. The rock goes away,
Taget.
and
Bravo.
it was good advice.
The same thing?
Yep.
So USA is happy to get either of the yellow stones out of play. Justin Marshall needs to get the guard or the rock in the rings. The math being very much in USA's favor.
Very nice, Justin.
Very nice.
8-3. Booyah.
Hits and rolls to the other side of the rings.
Got it away from the guard, too.
That's really nice opportunity.
Bra.
So Sweden is playing this takeout game in the rings.
Tage 4. Fina farter.
And for all you young players out there, when you're down by 6 points and you have a corner guard and the last rock advantage, I'm going to beg that you use it. This was a really lovely shot, but you need a lot of points to catch back up and win this game. And it is possible. You have to be aggressive. You have to not be afraid of your opposition's rocks. You have to go for it.
Good line. Nice job.
Great broom.
You're a handsome man.
Vi tar en rond nu.
Japp.
Spela
So you
taget.
can see this.
Okay.
If they just keep hitting stones, all Sweden's going to get is 1 point. So I'd imagine there'll be a team meeting where you go over tactics at the end of the game. And
Ligger här. Bra.
kind of offense creation and points generation is going to be at the top of that list for Team Sweden. There's still a lot of game left, but they do. Oh, that just picked something.
Skar han då?
It picked something. I can see the line.
So
I see the line.
there, a little bit of debris, a little scratch in the surface of the ice, anything that is really unfortunate.
Ja, får ju spela någon gång till om det.
You go the other way just in case.
Any
go this way
small
to
amount of
the
debris sends the rocks off target. Now that's in the traditional game where you have one thrower, the skip, and two sweepers. You know, the sweepers might have the chance to have impacted that. They might have been able to sweep in front of the stone and make sure there was no debris. But in wheelchair curling, there's no sweepers. The players are a bit at the mercy of the surface of the ice.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
And they also have to be absolutely perfect. Steve, I'm not happy with that attempt.
Man ser spåret till och med efter stenen.
Sträck ut.
Jajamän.
Bra. Nej,
Oh, it hit the same spot.
den skar. Tagen 0, jättebra fart.
It's really just tragic. There must be something still on the ice. Sometimes it just doesn't go your way. And Sweden, even when they get a little bit of an opening from USA,
Tighten it up just a little bit.
this rock is just curling a ton. He had asked for a little bit less ice and ends up hitting a little too much of that rock sticking around in play.
Yep. Unfortunate in that pick. Like beautiful right up the stick.
You can see the
Oh yeah, to the whole line on the ice.
both of them.
You can hear the players. The camaraderie is evident in the sport. It is throughout the game. Remember, these are non-interference team sports.
Sträck ut.
It's really unusual. One team takes a turn and then the other team takes a turn, and they don't interfere with each other. They get to just try and be the best version of themselves possible. And in this moment, Kiki Ulander's had a wonderful day. She's had to switch positions. The challenge has been really well faced, and she's taking that treacherous path that had some debris on it or maybe a bit of a flat spot. She
10-1.
doesn't quite remove the USA stone. Might stick around there.
Jag tror vi är nöjda efter den här, va? Ja, jag satt där. Vill du? Vill du? Okej, säger du det så nu ska jag vidare.
Pretty high guard, so I think middle of 12 should be fine.
She's still keeping her spirits high.
Pretty high guard, so I think we're fine here.
You know, this is a wonderful challenge, and I think when you're
13?
out there as a player, there is a lot of pressure. This is the biggest event in the sport of wheelchair curling, and that pressure can overwhelm you at times, but trying to enjoy the moment, enjoy the challenges that you're facing in the moment.
Good shot.
Because this is what you work
13,
so
very
hard
nice.
for. So it's nice to see
Great shot, Kirk.
the athletes still smiling.
On point.
Boy. USA
Jenny
not
Newt
taking
Fritz
its foot
Tardam.
off the gas at all. Skip throws a really perfect shot.
Jag är inte bättre där. Nej, kör där.
You can see it's
Tage.
absolutely all the way hidden.
Ja. Vad tror
Sweden's
du
still going to
Vincent?
try and tap it out, move it a bit. They have confidence that the ice is going to curl.
Tänk på ett utflytt.
Ja.
The guard is very high in the play area, so there's a lot of
Tage.
space between the guard
Tage.
and the rock and the forefoot.
Jag tror nästan på en hacka, vet ni.
Bra.
So this is a beautiful chance to see
Come
kind of the movement of the ice, how even though a rock is covered, oh, just slides by.
Okej, enough is enough.
Vi är nöjda, va?
Another day, buddy. Another day. Tough one. We've been there. We've been there. All right?
And with that,
Good game.
Yep, yep.
Sweden knows it is
Thank you.
insurmountable. And with great sportsmanship,
Yes.
they concede the victory.
Not yet.
We get it.
We're
You got
still
plenty
praying
of time.
for it.
You got plenty of time.
Good
Plenty of
game.
time. Good game.
Good game.
Well played.
Congratulations.
Good game.
Well played.
Good game, sir.
Good game.
Empty your sticks at the other end still.
It's a story of the draw. Sweden just on the
What?
wrong
What?
side of the inch there. USA giving a nice little wave to their support crew in the stands.
Det means bra.
Very happy USA
Quite terrible,
fans.
and we win 10-2.
They get on the scoreboard.
About the stats.
Can I get in? Can I play? Can I play?
And team. Okay, let's
Okay,
go.
What
USA.
if you got the ice?
Yep. See you later.
And that's the final. USA 10, Sweden 2.
Moa, jag tar rygg på dig och så smyger jag in sidan.
Swedish fans are still in it. They know there was a little bit of life after that lineup change and the reset at the midway point.
Ja, vi hade.
Problemet var ju att
Vi lyckas
knyta inte ihop säcken igen.
It is a very nice feeling to get your first win. This is a look at the absolute the game maker. Here is Steve Empt and Skip Kirk Black. They had beautiful games. Justin Marshall, very steady hitting, very steady. Sweden, they've got 5 player stats because they made a lineup change, and you can see why. Their original skip, Pedersen Dahl, really struggled. And they made the lineup change and had a pretty good second half with that. They might want to think about experimenting with that. And this is, you can see right here, those stolen ends. 6 stolen points for Team USA. That was the difference in the game. Huge scores. And I think being down in the game, Sweden made some tactical choices. They needed to throw more draws, put rocks into play. And if they make a couple little adjustments, Sweden will have a great opportunity in their next game. USA's got to keep things rolling, keep those percentages up, and if they can get their lead, Penny Greeley, back on track, which I'm sure they will, they could really have a dominant week. Entering this game, these teams were 0-2 each. Someone was going to get their first win. The difference was going to be whose ever skip had draw weight. USA skip Kirk Black threw 7 draws, the 82%. He came out firing from the very first end where USA took 2 points and followed it up end after end. USA ultimately stealing 6 points in this game, really kept pressure on Sweden the entire time. Sweden made some bold choices, and I think with the information they got in this game, Sweden will come back stronger than ever in their next opportunity. And we've got final score, USA 10, Sweden 2. Thanks for watching.
Kim, and everyone back home.
On sheet C, People's Republic of China.
Bra fart! 9-2.
9-4.
13-5 is in a
Bra Mo. Niklas 4. Okej.
6. Det är bra Moe.
do what you do best, Jay. Do what you do.
Good line.
Thank you. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Vill du komma runt och ta 7-8. Bra försök. Ska vi dra?
Dra där eller? Bra.
9.
Niklas 9.
Det är bra.
Det är bra nu.
Det är bra Rosa.
Ja. Här är bra. Snygg Sten. Ja.
Mycket.
Ja,
8 var
kändes hårt, men det, jag vet inte.
Swing.
That's fine. That's some weight right there. There you go. Come on. Work, work, work. Back it. Yes. That's my boy. That's my mom.
Bra fart.
Easy, easy.
Very nice. 12-9.
High though. Run it high. Run it high. Did you get time, Kirk?
12-8.
Rulla då. Rulla då.
Yep.
Attaboy, Kirk.
2.
Great shot, buddy. Love it.
You red.
Very nice.
8-3. Booyah.
Got it away.
He gutsed it. Whoa.
Ah.
Whoa.
Så skar han då.
Ah.
It picked something. I can see the line.
Yes, I see the line.
Man, that sucks.
Bad bug.
I'm sorry.
Yep.
Fart.
I'm sorry.
Yep.
Nej, vi ska...
Fart. Ah. Ah.
Plenty of time.
Good game.
Good game.
Good game.
Okay, well played.
Congratulations.
Good game.
Well played.
Good game, sir.
Good game.
Empty your sticks.
This is the IBC Distribution Centre, Channel 7, International Stereo Sound for Television, Right Channel. This is the IBC Distribution Centre, Channel 7, International Stereo Sound for Television, Right Channel. This is the IBC Distribution Centre, Channel 7, International Stereo Sound for Television, Right Channel. This is the IBC Distribution Centre, Channel 7, International Stereo Sound for Television, Right Channel. This is the IBC Distribution Centre, Channel 7, International Stereo Sound for Television, Right Channel. This is the IBC Distribution Centre, Channel 7, International Stereo Sound for Television, Right Channel. This is the IBC Distribution Centre, Channel 7, International Stereo Sound for Television, Right Channel. This is the IBC Distribution Centre, Channel 7, International Stereo Sound for Television, Right Channel. This is the IBC Distribution Centre, Channel 7, International Stereo Sound for Television, Right Channel. This is the IBC Distribution Centre, Channel 7, International Stereo Sound for Television, Right Channel. This is the IBC Distribution Centre, Channel 7, International Stereo Sound for Television, Right Channel. This is the IBC Distribution Centre, Channel 7, International Stereo Sound for Television, Right Channel. This is the IBC Distribution Centre, Channel 7, International Stereo Sound for Television, Right Channel. This is the IBC Distribution Centre, Channel 7, International Stereo Sound for Television, Right Channel. This is the IBC Distribution Centre, Channel 7, International Stereo Sound for Television, Right Channel. This is the IBC Distribution Centre, Channel 7, International Stereo Sound for Television, Right Channel. This is the IBC Distribution Centre, Channel 7, International Stereo Sound for Television, Right Channel. This is the IBC Distribution Centre, Channel 7, International Stereo Sound for Television, Right Channel. This is the IBC Distribution Centre, Channel 7, International Stereo Sound for Television, Right Channel. This is the IBC Distribution Centre, Channel 7, International Stereo Sound for Television, Right Channel. This is the IBC Distribution Centre, Channel 7, International Commentary Sound for Television, Right Channel. This is the IBC Distribution Centre, Channel 7, International Commentary Sound for Television, Right Channel. This is the IBC Distribution Centre, Channel 7, International Commentary Sound for Television, Right Channel. This is the IBC Distribution Centre, Channel 7, International Commentary Sound for Television, Right Channel. This is the IBC Distribution Centre, Channel 7, International Commentary Sound for Television, Right Channel. This is the IBC Distribution Centre, Channel 7, International Commentary Sound for Television, Right Channel. This is the IBC Distribution Centre, Channel 7, International Commentary Sound for Television, Right Channel. This is the IBC Distribution Centre, Channel. This is the IBC Distribution Centre, Channel 7, International Commentary Sound for Television, Right Channel. This is the IBC Distribution Centre, Channel 7, International Commentary Sound for Television, Right Channel. This is the IBC Distribution Centre, Channel 7, International Commentary Sound for Television, Right Channel. This is the IBC Distribution Centre, Channel 7, International Stereo Sound for Television,
Right channel.
This is the IBC Distribution Centre, Channel 7, International Stereo Sound for Television,
Right channel.
This is the IBC Distribution Centre, Channel 7, International Stereo Sound for Television,
Right channel.
This is the IBC Distribution Centre, Channel 7, International Stereo Sound for Television,
Right channel.
This is the IBC Distribution Centre, Channel 7, International Stereo Sound for Television,
Right channel.
This is the IBC Distribution Centre, Channel 7, International Stereo Sound for Television,
Right channel.
This is the IBC Distribution Centre, Channel 7, International Stereo Sound for Television,
Right channel.
This is the IBC Distribution Centre, Channel 7, International Stereo Sound for Television,
Right channel.
This is the IBC Distribution Centre, Channel 7, International Stereo Sound for Television,
Right channel.
This is the IBC Distribution Centre, Channel 7, International Stereo Sound for Television,
Right channel.
This is the IBC Distribution Centre, Channel 7, International Commentary Sound for Television,
Right channel.
This is the IBC Distribution Centre, Channel 7, International Commentary Sound for Television,
Right channel.
This is the IBC Distribution Centre, Channel 7, International Commentary Sound for Television,
Right channel.
This is the IBC Distribution Centre, Channel 7, International Commentary Sound for Television,
Right channel.
This is the IBC Distribution Centre, Channel 7, International Commentary Sound for Television,
Right channel.
This is the IBC Distribution Centre, Channel 7, International Commentary Sound for Television,
Right channel.
This is the IBC Distribution Centre, Channel 7, International Commentary Sound for Television,
Right channel.
This is the IBC Distribution Centre, Channel 7, International Commentary Sound for Television,
Right channel.
This is the IBC Distribution Centre, Channel 7, International Commentary Sound for Television,
Right channel.
This is the IBC Distribution Centre, Channel 7, International Commentary Sound for Television,
Right channel.
This is the IBC Distribution Centre, Channel 7, International Commentary Sound for Television,
Right channel.
This is the IBC Distribution Centre, Channel 7, International Commentary Sound for Television,
Right channel.
This is the IBC Distribution Centre, Channel 7, International Commentary Sound for Television,
Right channel.
This is the IBC Distribution Centre, Channel 7, International Commentary Sound for Television,
Right channel.
This is the IBC Distribution Centre, Channel 7, International Commentary Sound for Television,
Right channel.
This is the IBC Distribution Centre, Channel 7, International Commentary Sound for Television,
Right channel.
This is the IBC Distribution Centre, Channel 7, International Commentary Sound for Television,
Right channel.
This is the IBC Distribution Centre, Channel 7, International Commentary Sound for Television,
Right channel.
This is the IBC Distribution Centre, Channel 7, International Commentary Sound for Television.